Hey everybody, Jerome Maldonado, and welcome to our Wednesday's Real Talk on Real Estate. I got stuck in Puerto Rico. Our flights got canceled out, and so we're doing our Real Talk on Real Estate right here in Puerto Rico today. But we came in live, and we're here for you. And today is cool. I like this topic. I didn't realize I was going to like this topic so much, and it's great to find out what the top 5 cities are for work at home. It's big right now with the pandemic and everything that's happened over the last 2 years. We have more people working from home than ever before. And in the pandemic, the vast majority of our population was working from home. And so work from home cities are great to know. When you're buying land, you're building houses, you're investing in real estate. What better to know and learn than where people are working from home, so you know what type of asset class and what type of home to build and what people are looking for in those cities. So there's a few different criterias. And what we found is that the 3 major criterias that people are looking for the best work from home cities are affordability, so great living costs that aren't too expensive, livability, being stuff like workspace in their home, more area to actually live and maneuver in, and then green space so that way they can get out. And that was a big factor, is livability. They want to make sure that people have larger homes and they have green space, so when they can clear their mind, get away from the house, get away from work, get away from everything, they have a better living environment. So those are the 2 major factors in livability that people are looking for on work from home. Now, the third criteria, which is one of the most important, is connectivity. When I did some research, we found out that people are just looking for fast internet access because most of what they're doing is either on live Zoom calls or live video calls, and they want to be able to have stream capabilities to be online, the download abilities need to be good. And so they need fiber, not cable. And so what I've just found out is that fiber is more symmetrical with no data caps where cable is. So they look for cities like Chattanooga, Tennessee. In 2010, it became became the first city that had citywide municipal fiber networks. So no cable networks, just citywide, and this had better connectivity, which put Chattanooga at the number 1 spot last year, but now it's number 4. And the reason it moved from number 1 to number 4 is because this year they changed the criteria a little bit, and they want to make sure that the cities that have the best livability for work from home have easy access to airport, and it's easy to get in and out. Chattanooga is a little bit of a harder city to get in and out of because of the airport. So very similar to where I live in Albuquerque. Hence, that's why I'm stuck in Puerto Rico. Really tough to get a flight back into the Albuquerque International Airport. And so I'm sitting here in beautiful Puerto Rico. Don't feel sorry for me. The only U.S. rainforest is sitting about 30 minutes from me, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You guys will be able to see a lot of live footage with Ty and I walking to the gym through the rainforest and the birds and frogs chirping, and just absolutely incredible. Great work from home place in Puerto Rico as well. Now, here's what else, and also another reason that Puerto Rico is a great place to work from home. Now, it's not on the list, but I will tell you from experience that it's a great place to live and work. Now, one factor is affordability. That's the number 1 criteria. And so the states that have no state income taxes, listen, the states that have 0 state income taxes are Florida, Texas, Wyoming, Alaska, Tennessee, Nevada, and Washington State. Okay, great cities to live in, great states to live in because there's no state income taxes. Now, for those of you guys that are working from home, you guys want to write down a list of these cities because you're going to want to write down a list of these states, not cities. I'm talking about the best cities to live in, but these are the states that offer tax breaks for work from home employees. And so if you're a work from home employee and you live in Alabama, if you live in Arkansas, if you live in California, if you live in Hawaii, if you live in Minnesota, if you live in New York, or if you live in Pennsylvania, all those 7 states, they all offer tax breaks for work from home employees. So if you're a work from home employee in any of those above cities, Alabama, Arkansas, California, Hawaii, Minnesota, New York, or Pennsylvania, you need to ask your tax professionals how you can take advantage of the tax breaks that are offered in those 7 states. Now, the number 4 state was Chattanooga, Tennessee, dropping from number 1 down to number 4 because of its access to airports. What is number 5? Number 5 is Philadelphia, up from number 11. The reason Philadelphia is up from number 11 is because of its access from airports. So it moved from number 11 to number 5. But Philadelphia, for those of you guys who haven't been there, it's absolutely gorgeous. All of Pennsylvania is incredible. Most people think of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh as these big cities, and they're not. The mountain areas and the open green space in Philadelphia is absolutely gorgeous. So if you've never been, take a trip, take your family on a vacation, because I've driven all the way from the eastern side of Pennsylvania to the western side of Pennsylvania, and it's about, God, I think it's about a 6 to 8 hour drive from one side to the other. Now, if you go in the winter, take your snow chains, because you're going to need them. A lot of mountain area, high elevation, a lot of snow, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mountain country. So number 5, Philadelphia. Number 4, again, is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Number 3 is Edmonton, Canada. And so the studies that we read were the best work from home cities, not only in the United States, but also in Canada. And one of the reasons that Edmonton came in doing so well is because of its beautiful nature, its beautiful green space, its connectivity, fast internet, but also because of how cost effective it is to live in Edmonton compared to Vancouver and Montreal. And so because of its cost of living, Edmonton came in clutch at number 3. Now, number 2 is Provo, Utah. And Utah has shown its way as far as big houses. It has a lot of open space, green areas up in the mountains. You guys go up, for all you skiers, you guys got Park City, you guys got Alta, you have Mount Brighton, you got Snowbird, you got Snowmass, you have all the best snow on earth is right there in Utah. A lot of high mountain country. I'm a big snowboarder, so I advocate and love the mountain areas, but not by my choice. It's by the national choice, and Provo, Utah comes in clutch at number 2. A lot of big growth as far as economic growth in Utah. So those of you guys who've never been, Salt Lake City area is absolutely incredible. So hence our number 1 city is Layton, Utah, just to the opposite side of Provo, there in Salt Lake City, and mostly because it has big airports, great internet, and great livability over in Utah. Now, how does this relate to what we talk about as far as buying land and building houses? How does having the best work from home cities relate to that? And one of the big things is housing and what people are looking for from these work from home cities. So for those of you guys who are buying land, building houses, or building infrastructure as far as apartment complexes, multifamily, what you're looking for as a buyer, a value add buyer, a general partner, a GP, or an LP in these cities, is you're looking for livability as far as work from home space. So if you're building homes, one of the big criteria, as Zytron said, is you need large homes for good livability and good workability. And so having a 4th bedroom, having an office, something where there's workspace where you can get away from your work, but also go into a big workspace is very important. Now, one of the things, and I remember asking Ramez, one of my business partners down in Washington State, we're building these micro homes. They're between 1,500 and 1,600 square foot homes, and they're small, but they have still good workability. So when you say large homes is relative to the area that you're actually building in. They're renting out these little micro homes that are under 500 square feet. They're like 350 square foot micro apartments that people are coming in from like India, and they're bringing in these tech employees and they're housing them in these micro apartments that are like 350 square feet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but 350 square feet, to be able to have that as your work domain 24/7 seems to be a little bit not psychotic, but a little bit challenging to be able to work from, and probably not the best work environment. So having a 1,500 square foot home, for most of the employees that we're selling to, and most of the people in that area that we're selling to are young employees, usually a husband, wife, or just single. So 1,500 square feet, upstairs, downstairs, a lot of livable space, really good opportunity for people to have a nice open workspace in a small home. Now, you get out into the country, people with families that are working from home, and you're building to accommodate these people. Maybe you're going in and you're building a 3-bedroom house for an empty nester, people that their kids have went off to college, or you're building a 4-bedroom house for people that have kids, children, 2, 3. It's always important to incorporate an office into that build, or big open workspace where people can go in. Now, windows are important. So if you guys build an office, make sure it's in an open environment with large windows in it so that people have something to look out to. And always face the office towards the best views. A lot of times in most homes, when I see them be built, the office faces straight out front to the road. Now, I don't know how many homes you guys have been in with home offices, but when you stare straight out at the road, it's not the most pleasant view. Why not to the back area where there's trees, landscaping, and green space, maybe waterfalls or swimming pools or open space, to be able to give that aura of open space, and it actually expands your workspace when you have nice landscaping to the outside of your offices. So always take that into consideration when you guys are building homes, buying homes, and selling homes and properties. You're doing value add. And even for those of you guys who are building and buying out apartment complexes, look, even if you're doing 1-bedroom units, it's nice to have large open space where people can have desk space, maybe in a living area, a bedroom that's a little bit larger. They can put a desk, and always incorporate Wi-Fi and DSL service and internet right by a location that's right by a window, a nice desk space, and something that gives them that open space to be able to enjoy their workspace from home. So just small factors to consider when you're building out a house, you're doing value add, and any of you investors out there that are taking out those apartments. Now, I'm going to go into even number 6 and number 7, even though I promised you guys that I was only going to go into the top 5 cities for work from home. In number 6 comes in Tennessee, another city in Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee is number 6, and Huntsville, Alabama comes in clutch at number 7. And so when you guys are looking at these cities, a lot of loaded information today as far as cities to go into, as far as no state taxes, tax breaks from work from home. And for those people that are interested in understanding how to build to accommodate work from home, a lot of great information. You like the information, like the content, pound that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content just like this. Now, we go over a lot of buy land, build houses, investment strategies for people that are looking and trying to understand what interest rates, what's happening with interest rates, what's happening with us economically. And I did a full-length video last week on how to assess the building market and how to assess the investors market to be able to take advantage of what's happening currently in 2022 and how to caution yourself moving into 2023 and 2024. So if you want to watch that video, we're going to put that video up above or down below. Just click that video at the end of this video to be able to watch more about how to take advantage of building, buying, investing with stagflation, with inflation, and with increased interest rates. But don't forget that the third parallel is that we're living in a time right now where the U.S. has pumped over $6 trillion into our economy, and so wages are up right now. And not only are wages up, but we have over 6% more of our population working from home than we did in 2019. So we're in a really good place, and a lot of people working from home. Now, for those of you guys who are self-employed business owners, what we've done this last 2 years, and I'm going to kind of share this with you guys, is we've hired a lot of remote workers. Our online team, the people that are producing these videos right now, that'll edit it, put our logos in, put our all of our pattern interruptions and all that stuff, they're all remote. We even have salespeople that are working out of countries, out of the country in Serbia. We have sales reps that are working out in Canada and out in Australia. And so for those of you guys who are interested in taking advantage of the opportunities that exist with employees overseas, I'm going to tell you guys right here, right now, if you're a work from home and you guys are considering going into an office, having people in an office, one thing that's been so advantageous to us in the last 2 years, one thing that's so positive the pandemic did is they've allowed working remote to be socially and workable and accessible for all businesses. And so now it's not taboo for somebody to call into a line and they tell them, well, let me talk to so-and-so. They're out of our Albuquerque office. And then you have an employee out in Serbia answering the phones, or you have an employee out of Australia answering the phones. And for those of you guys who are sitting back right now going, we should keep the employees in America and in the United States, I've always told people, God just didn't drop the best employees in the United States and made the rest of the people in the country, in the world, not intellectual. There's better employees out of the country. And I'm a Homo sapien, right? I want to be able to support all human beings, all people in all countries. So when we're talking about the best cities to live in the United States and in Canada, we're also looking at how our workspace benefits us, and being able to go into the office. Before, we found ourselves micromanaging people, going in there and looking over people's shoulders. I don't want to be looking over people's shoulders. So one of the big benefits that the pandemic did is it allowed us to be able to have people work remote. So what I find myself doing is on my phone, actually delegating out work tasks, even later at night, people working almost 20 hours around the clock. And we're getting more productivity than we ever have before. So for those of you guys who are sitting back saying, let's keep the jobs in the United States, I'm sitting back going, let's give it to people that are less sensitive to being spoiled and entitled, like a lot of people here in the United States. And let's give this to people that want to work. And so let's give the workability to people, not only here in the United States, but let's give work to people outside of the United States and other countries, because God dropped great people all over this earth. And if you're a Homo sapien like me, it's just about supporting growth, financial growth, and supporting economic growth to anybody, anywhere that's willing to do it. We've been self-employed for so many years and have dealt with so many different types of employees. And the working class people have changed since the 90s till today. And so the quality of people that we're actually obtaining today versus the 90s has went down substantially here in the United States. And so it's opened doors, even with a pandemic, to try new things. And because we can try new things and have people work remote, we're able to get better staff, better employees. And so we're doing it. And, we're going to be hiring an admin in our office right now, and it's going to be a remote position. They'll have office hours, maybe 2 days a week, where if clients need to come into the office, drop off rent payments, contracts, make payments on stuff, they're able to go into the office those days. Otherwise, they can mail payments to our PO box, which is preferred, but work from home. So, ladies and gentlemen, click and subscribe, join our YouTube channel, more content just like this, and learn what cities are the best cities for you to work from home, build houses, buy land, build houses, and build the right real estate for the biggest, baddest work from home cities across the United States. Click and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week on our Real Talk on Real Estate. Go out and compound your success.